company.
Have a look at some Final Fantasy. So have you seen any of this?
I've seen. Well, this is kind of my first time seeing it properly, but I've seen like briefings of it.
Which?
Not a lot. I'll say I've not seen a lot.
So, I guess a minor explanation of what the hell we're doing is, I'm Kane, and
I'm Luke.
You're Luke. And this, for the most part of this video, is me playing until I got invited to a Square Enix kind of preview.
Yeah. And this is me watching you playing at a later date.
Yes. Yeah. So this is just some footage that I edited together from what I played.
Quick question.
Yes.
Is it explained how the sword stays on his back? Is it like magnetized?
I assume magnets. I don't think anyone's ever like really
in the like old game. I always was just like, well, I presume there's some kind of like way it's going on, but the graphics were so like, I guess. Who's there? Well, they were good at the time, but now they look shit now.
Well, it's one of those things, isn't it, where I'm sure there's people who have questions, like, how does the sword stay on his back? It doesn't make sense, but at the same time, you would have to wonder, well, where do they keep all of the, like, Phoenix Downs, or...
That was a quick fight.
Yeah, that was a pretty quick fight. That was a pretty quick fight. That's Jessie, she's the best.
Okay.
Simmer down, hotshot.
This is Barrett,
Simmer down, hotshot.
He likes to say simmer down, hotshot.
He has some opinions on my style, which I'm just giving him. Oh.
He really enjoys saying that. Seems like he's trying to work a catchphrase in.
He enjoys himself.
Yeah.
Well, see, they did explain. Look, you can see on his arm he has an ammo clip because people used to kind of wonder where the bullets came from if the gun is his arm. Which I don't know if... Actually, I don't know if that was in the original art, because I was one of the people that missed.
Yep.
Like, I actually never played the original game, so I know...
A long time ago for me.
I know a lot about it, but I am kind of coming into this fresh, because I know the broad points, which, you know, the whole point is this is for people who want to play it again, or if they've never played it the first time, which is me, so... Yeah, I don't want to.
Well,
we're not going to go into any like story
just
spoilers.
looking at this to me is like it hardly seems like the same game. Like obviously the original like game was turn based, and this is like a kind of real time action.
A little bit of branding there.
Yeah.
I had to be
I like that.
so it's like a lot of. I mean, it's obviously the story from the first game, but like first 7, the original 7. But there's a lot of elements taken from later games. Like this is kind of more reminiscent of 15 combat, which was kind of felt like it iterated on 13's combat, which was iterated from before that. It's like the actual active combat, but you can see down the bottom, it's like you can select. I think that was that focus thrust.
Yeah.
So you fight normally just by hitting the attack button, and then you can, when you build up enough gauge down the bottom left there, you can access your like special moves.
So how are you switching between characters here?
I'm pretty sure it's just on the D-pad. You can just toggle whenever.
So like you can, and then if you switch to Cloud now,
the camera would just
CPU control.
Yeah, the camera would just zoom over to where Cloud is, and then Barrett would just keep fighting.
I think that's pretty cool.
You can also access in the... See, like the camera just went over to Barrett because I swapped.
Yeah.
But you can do your command menu. You can also make your allies do their commands.
Yeah. So you can give them final.
Yeah, so if I wanted Barrett to do one of his moves, or I wanted Barrett to use an item, I wouldn't have to swap to him to do it. I could just go to the command menu, toggle to Barrett, and say, Barrett, do this thing, while I worry about doing other things.
It's kind of cool, like, I'll just say, like, obviously the visuals look amazing, but it's kind of cool seeing, like, because this isn't just a straight up, like, you know, remake. This is basically from the ground up, completely like rebuilding what the idea of this game even is. Like obviously, like the original, as we said before, was very turn-based, like classic kind of RPG style, but the combat and playing in this way, that completely changes the game.
It definitely
the 30
does.
counting down?
Which I believe there are different modes in the game, or that there's been made mention of more like closer to the original style, which would lean more heavily on the turn-based stuff, which is kind of cool. I do enjoy this.
Come on, we've got to move.
More like control.
Yeah.
But, turn-based is good and everything. Don't get me wrong. But I enjoy the just.
Well, my perspective is this: like, if you're gonna remake it, I prefer it be done in. Oh god.
Yeah, I trimmed down the escape section a little bit. It was a lot of escaping. So I just yeah.
Up down, up down.
There's a lot more than
At least you can go down the ladder quickly.
You can.
Shut up and climb. You're not
Shut up and climb.
Oh, Jesse.
I'll freak out if I don't talk.
Have it your way.
Oh, I hate these guys. Yeah.
So yeah, my perspective is like, if you're gonna remake or I guess reimagine a game, like there's no point of just kind of like a lot of companies do these HD remasters, which is fine because you're kind of bringing back the game that people loved in the past and just upscaling the visuals and whatnot. But something like this I think is kind of special because not only are they bringing back a classic game for modern audiences, it's been completely reinvented.
Look at these guys. See, I even wrote about this specifically, which kind of surprised me. But the thing is, you know who Cloud is and you know who Tifa is. They were in Advent Children, and then they were in Cloud's been to CD and a bunch of games. People like Cloud,
featured a lot.
Which, just for reference, that was the end of my gameplay. This is footage provided of later sections of the game.
You're not playing anything.
No, this isn't me. I got to play through certain things. The footage that I played that you saw was chapter 1, and then
how far are they skipping here?
This is like chapter. I don't know if this is chapter
Tifa's
2
in the
or
game
5,
now.
maybe. Yeah, that's true. This is another boss fight. This skips ahead to the Airbuster, which is pretty cool. I was gonna say is, as cool as those characters are, for me it was weird that seeing President Shinra and Heidegger, because you wouldn't see them looking like that unless they remade this game.
Yeah, pretty much.
There's tons of fan
Cloud
art,
remade.
Cloud, Tifa, even Barrett, and all the other characters like Red and everyone like that. But I mean, it takes a special niche of a person that goes, I'm gonna do some high res fan art of Heidegger or President Shinra. It was weird. I was kind of surprised, but seeing those characters was like, I don't know, it was this weird proof that it's like, oh yeah, this is definitely a remake of 7.
I was thinking
It's kind of cool.
All the background characters.
You know what we have to do.
Oh, this thing. This thing's fun, but
Tifa leads.
the locks. This footage is better than me. I couldn't time it right, and I was also nervous because I was like,
that's why
I was at the preview and I was like,
playing yeah, we don't want anyone to see how bad this guy played the game.
I was like kind of sitting there doing the preview and I'm like, I don't want to eat through all the time doing this and doing it wrong, and I was like, it's a whole thing. It's fun.
They showed mercy to you, not giving you your own footage.
Which, this is cool. I'm actually not sure if this was in the first one, because again, I never played the original 7, but before you fight this Airbuster boss, you go through the factory, and you can have pieces diverted so that they don't fully stock up the Airbuster, so you can make the fight easier for you in certain ways.
Okay.
So one of them is you can make it so that it's slower, I believe.
Yep.
I think another one is it maybe doesn't target you as well, or it can't alternate between. And then one of it is just depleting its ammunition for a big bombing attack.
Oh.
So you can, I think they make you kind of take 1 out of each originally, and then there's maybe 2 more chances to take something out. So you can kind of either weaken it across the board, or really hamper one thing. And then this is pretty cool too.
Get up.
Because you get to summon. And
Leviathan.
summons are always cool in Final Fantasy.
Oh, damn!
Oh, look at that friendly. They a friendly chap.
Leviathan looks fucking awesome in this game.
So these things too, from what it looks like, it like automatically kind of fights in the background. But I think you do get some commands as well.
So you can't control the summon, or the summon is controlling itself?
You can kind of point it in the right direction.
Wouldn't it be sick if you could just like actually take control?
Just ride on it.
That's too powerful.
Ride on the back of it.
It'd be a bit hard to kind of program enough, I guess, for every single summon you get in the game.
But it is a little different to how 15 handled it. I believe it was just a kind of cutscene ultimate attack. What is that?
I'm just really like, I don't know, like, I feel like a weird sense of nostalgia because, I mean, the game is a very long time ago for me. I never revisited it, but
How long ago do you think the game came out?
I think the game came out in '97.
The game came out 23 years ago.
Yep. Well, did I get the right year?
You may have.
Yeah.
That sounds about it. Yeah.
Damn, yeah. So I'm pretty sure it came out in '97.
Yeah, it did. Yeah, that's how math works.
Yeah, and I'm pretty sure I played it like probably like '99.
Is this how it looked in your mind when you played it?
That's the thing, like, from my memory, I remember being like a kid and I'm like, man, Tifa is so hot. And I'm like, and I look now and I'm like, just a fucking bunch of blocks.
So this skipped ahead again. This is Abzu. He's in the sewer you fight.
Yeah.
And this one, I'm kind of reiterating things that I wrote in the article, but the thing I liked about this fight is, like, when you use fire on it, see, he's like, starts to pat himself.
Oh, that's really cool.
Which is cool because, like, elemental weaknesses are awesome. And, you know, they're in every RPG, and, like, I think some of the early
It's kind of cool
robots...
that they actually show it.
Yeah, some of the early robots are weak to lightning, but it's just kind of... It also makes you kind of feel bad when you see the fire physically affect this thing.
Yeah.
Like, it just jumped in the sewer water, put itself
like
out, and then
everything,
came back. Oh yeah, this skips ahead to
So Aerith.
So, minor spoilers for Final Fantasy VII? It's a weird middle ground because you don't want to spoil it if someone hasn't played it and wants to play this game.
Well, here's the thing. I reckon a lot of people a lot of the younger gamers now that are probably going to get this game, they've probably never played Final Fantasy VII.
Yeah, which is cool because, like I said, I never have.
You never have?
I've seen lots of clips. Again, I'm not going to spoil anything just in case. I've seen clips of, you know, the cutscenes. I've seen boss fights and all that stuff. I know pretty much everything about it.
Yeah.
But I never actually played it. But I want to play it because.
Seeing this game like this kind of makes me want to see like 8 and 9 remade in this way. To be honest.
Yeah, I mean,
like, I would not mind if they did that. I know, like, the whole, you know, video game remake is pretty hot in, like, gaming at the moment. Like, you got Resident Evil 3, it's coming out soon, I think, and...
well, that's the thing is because, like, this and those are full-on remakes.
They're not just a remaster. I think that's what really makes it, separates it. It's like, the game's being completely... Obviously, it's like a story we're familiar with, characters that we're familiar with, but just, you know, completely modernized and new way. And I think, damn.
That's Ifrit.
Dude.
Ifrit. I'm never fully sure how to say it.
Oh, it's Ifrit.
Yeah, I guess Ifrit. He's pretty good. I didn't actually see him when I played.
This is
This time.
sick.
When I played this fight, oh man, I was like getting pushed to the edge. And I was only playing on normal because I'm not very good at games.
Yeah.
Which I, again, mentioned in the friggin' way too long writing thing that I did.
Go on.
It was always kind of tense in these big fights.
Yeah.
But I wasn't necessarily, like, it didn't frustrate me. Like, some games kind of you fight and they frustrate the hell out of you, and
Yeah.
I mean, maybe if, you know, I continue and I don't, you know, learn the controls, respect my character, or whatever it is that you do, or like don't figure out how to use Radiant Plume, it seems, but yeah, it was just fun.
So, this is a good question. See how I was saying pressured on Abzu there. What does that mean? Is it pressured?
There's a similar mechanic in...
Footage has ended, but we'll keep talking.
I'll put up a nice picture. 13 had it and 15 had it, I believe, which is like a stagger gauge.
Yeah.
And pressured is kind of like... slows them down a little bit, but they're not fully staggered. Staggered is when you kind of fully break their guard and they just can't really do anything. Pressured is kind of keep it up and they, are reacting a little bit.
I really like the way the monsters and bosses and stuff are reacting to what is happening to them. Like, obviously you mentioned the patting the fire and stuff like that. Little kind of things like that just make... I don't know, it makes it feel more kind of like complete.
It just makes it feel... Yeah, like...
the world and the things in it are more real and lived in. Like
I said, we've all played games where you use elements on things, but you never really... You go, fire beats grass. You never kind of sit there and go like, well, yeah, but it probably like starts to burn them or like I'm picturing them singeing. You're just like, yeah, more damage, bigger numbers.
Yeah.
This is like, oh no, the thing's patting itself down because it's on fire right now.
Mm.
And the machines are being electrocuted and all that stuff when they're not shooting you with get out of town laser blasts.
Damn. Well, I must say, I think the game looks hectic.
It does look fun. I am looking forward to it.
When can we expect this one out?
What's it called? April it comes out, I think.
April? Alright.
Push back to April, but I mean it looks good and there's I said I edited the footage down, so I think I am also putting up the unedited one, which you can see, I'm sure. Which has a bit more of the in between of chapter 1, so a bit more of the cutscenes and the talking and all that stuff. You get to see Biggs and Wedge and
nice.
all the other ones.
Yeah.
Who I don't know. I like it because I always like new not new takes necessarily, but I always like it's like when you see an artist and they like take a picture they drew 10 years ago and they draw it again in their new style or like to show their progress. I always like that kind of... I always like... Not that there was anything wrong with the original. Like, obviously. They hinted at 7 coming out and everyone lost their mind because people still play the original 7. But it's just cool to see that put through what everyone has come to kind of expect from games today. And then, even then, which I also mentioned it, but the thing which you didn't really see because of the cutscenes that is... It never really bothered me, but I know it did a lot of people. When they do the dub dialogue, even in the big cutscenes, it syncs to their mouths.
Oh.
They have like some thing now where it syncs to the voice coming out of the actor.
That's kind of cool.
So it's going to match up with the different dubs.
That's very cool.
So it's not going to be a character's mouth going like, and then you're like, oh, Cloud, or whatever. It's going to actually sync up and apparently,
look right.
Yeah, I mean, you could just notice that from the brief cutscenes and stuff, but I don't know if that's a new thing people have been doing a lot, or if it's a new thing. I don't know. Something I noticed. Looked cool.
Damn.
I don't know. I just want to play. I want to hit things with the big sword. The big buster sword.
What console is this going to be on? Is this only on PS4 or is it going to be on everything?
It's definitely on PlayStation. I'll have to check, actually. I know I played the review one was a PlayStation copy.
Okay.
So, yeah. But it looks fun.
It looks fucking awesome.
Yeah,
it looks hectic.
I think it looks fun.
I'm very excited for it. I guess everyone who just watched this, if you want to see the full unedited clip and get a bit more of a gander at it, that's going to be on our channel as well.
It'll probably be to the left of this video because I'll probably put that one up after this one.
Alright.
So to look to the left.
Look to the left.
Look to the left.
And hopefully it's there.
It'd be fun. I'm excited. I know I'm a bit late to the party with Final Fantasy. I'll admit that. I haven't played that many Final Fantasy games, but
that's why that's why this game exists, because those games were really good and a lot of people didn't ever get to play them.
I had fun with the Switch version re-release of 9.
Yep.
And that was fun just going back and playing that version again of the original game.
Definitely.
So I'm looking forward to this, and I mean, obviously you want them to keep making new games. Like, yeah, 15 was good, and like all those kind of. I don't know if they have
waiting
any
on
plans.
16.
Yeah, I don't know. Actually, I don't know about plans for that, but
I haven't even heard anything about it.
As much as it's one of those things where, like, people like this stuff. Like, maybe if this takes off, they might look into some other things like that, or like.
Let's see 8. Let's see 9.
You know what? Just do them all. We'll
remake them all in this way.
Look back.
I'd be happy for that. I reckon 8 and 9 are very underrated.
Do you think it would be like 7? The original did have cutscenes, and it had kind of the ambiance and everything to it of a big spectacle. You think the difference between, say, like remaking 1 or something?
Oh damn!
Like, you imagine like this level of graphics with just Warrior of Light running out, like trying to face off evil.
That could be cool.
Who was the enemy in 1? What was his name?
Dude, I've never played 1. I just know the game like.
I know him because he was in Dissidia. It wasn't like.
You tell me, man.
It wasn't Gabrant. No, he was from a later one. I don't know. My knowledge is not as good as it should be, but come on, like, yeah, it'd be awesome. I mean, you see Cloud.
It looks
in some
awesome.
of the,
He looks cool, man.
Some of the other cutscenes, you could see the wear and tear on the leather in his suspenders from his
wasn't
soldier
looking that
outfit.
much at his
You can see like
form-fitting leather, but
the pockmarked suspenders. Like, it's crazy. It's insane.
They put a lot of detail, and I can tell they put a lot of work into it.
You could probably tell the thread count on like his sweater.
You probably can. But yeah, it's obvious that they put a lot of effort into this game, and I know I'm pretty sure it was announced that they're going to only do like a certain portion of the original.
I don't think this is the full
original game.
This is like
remade.
the Midgar section.
Yeah, and I got a little bit of flack, but look at this game. Like I look at this game and I can understand why it probably is virtually impossible to remake the original fully in like this style. So if they're gonna release it in like part 1, part 2, whatever, I'm fine with that.
I like
Just
it.
don't take a decade like you did with Kingdom Hearts 3. And
I like
cool.
it. I like the remake and the kind of modernization of it. It was in they even released a trailer which showed off the Cloud dressing as a woman sequence and everything, and there was that big show-stopping number and it's also like handled in a more modern way where you just kind of smile. You're like, that's nice of them. Like, the guy comes out and he's like gives his big speech about beauty, and he's like, he's not beholden to something as petty as gender, and like they're putting makeup on Cloud, and I think Tifa and Aerith still rib him a little bit. You can hear, and he's not exactly like fond of it. But I don't know. I didn't play the original, but I don't know if it would have been handled with kind of the tact we've come to expect in nowadays.
Yeah, I get you.
But it's cool. I want to see like that, but in all of the other scenes and sequences, like the little bits that they add, and like just I don't know, sequences, and then facial expressions can like lengthen it or change a scene a little bit or something like that.
It's true. It's true. Give us more.
How very nice. How very nice.
Give us more now.
Oh yeah. But yeah, that's that. That was me playing for 10 of the 15 minutes or something, and then more, and then just a picture while we spoke for another 5 minutes.
You played well in the bit you played.
Yeah, I know. Did you see me take out that dog?
You probably played bad in the bits that we didn't see, so thank God for that.
I didn't actually play that bad, because the person who was handling the thing came back around and said that I did pretty good, and was impressed by how I fought the airbuster.
And then he came up to you later and said, here's our footage to use
even if
instead.
he was patronizing me, I'm going to smile and walk out the door with my head held high. And then when I actually get to play the game, Airbuster's going to punch me into the ground.
Oh my God. Well, that was fun.